River softball action today. Burr Burton taking on the Minutemen. Amanda Lee's in the circle. Caleb Plouffe is behind the plate. And the first batter for Burr Burton is Robin Watley. So Watley will lead things off here for Burr Burton. And there's a strike down the pipe. Pretty obvious if you watch any Mill River softball action. Two things they've got to cut down on. One is walks and the other is errors. Early season action, they've experienced way too much of both, and Lee will miss right there, and it'll be 1-1. I'll go around the horn for you in just 1 second. We'll get this pitch in, and we'll set the defense for you for Mill River. It'll be high and outside. At first base, Sierra Phelps. At second base is Chelsea Redenis. Casey Dambrakis is the shortstop. Brandy Bennick, of course, is at third base. In the outfield after this pitch, it'll be ball 3, 3-1. Taryn Redenis is in right field. Jackie Holler is in center, and Haley Katrupi is your left fielder. Mill River at 0-3, looking for their first win of the season. And a full count, fastball swung on and missed. And on deck will be the catcher, Paige Malone, and then Grace Schwartz due up. That's the top three in the order for Burr Burton. Yeah, and she will draw the walk, and they'll have the leadoff batter on first base. Yeah, in the season opener for Lee, she walked 17. And then in the home opener, she walked 21. So that numbers like that, you just really, that's the first area you got to improve upon. And I'm sure they worked with her as far as maybe sacrificing a little velocity for accuracy. Miss low for a ball. Like I said, Malone at the plate. She'll be the catcher when Burr Burton comes out in the bottom half of the first. Lindsay Beerworth will be in the circle for Burr Burton. That's going to be a base hit, and it'll come up to Redenis. She'll look, pick it up, and they're going to throw the ball around. It'll be backed up by Katrupi in left field. So a base hit to right field. Runners advance to first and second. Now Grace Schwartz, the third baseman, up. So Burr Burton with an offensive threat here in the top half of the first inning. And Plouffe will get down on the knees and block that ball from going to the backstop. That's ball one. A lot of it's just confidence and then just mechanics. The release point right now, she can't, you saw she missed low. Let go of it too early, and that time she held the ball too long. It went high and outside. And she'll run it now to a 3-ball, no strike count. Cleanup batter on deck is going to be the shortstop, Alicia Trombley. Burton used to be looked upon as a strong possibility of a win. Nowadays their program improved much, just like they have in lacrosse and in basketball. And of course their soccer teams have always been very dominant down in Burton. But their softball program really coming right along now. You see Plouffe with the catch, tried to frame the pitch, couldn't steal the call, and that'll be the second walk of the first inning. And Plouffe wants to go out and talk to Lee. So she got the bases juiced, nobody down. That means there's a force out at any base. It also increases the odds of being able to put together a double play. They're going to bring Bennick in at third base, real tight at the corner. Dambrakis will come on in if you come in on the infield too. Basically, he's drawing the infield in, Coach Kerry McDonald has. Katrupi, Redenis with strong arms in the outfield. Holler can cover a lot of ground, and pitch on the way. Will be a strike. It'll be mishandled, and that's a dead ball. Yep. Everybody gets to move up one, and that's how the game's first run will come in. On a ball that was mishandled, it was a strike. It went off the chest protector of the catcher. Hit the backstop. That's out of play, so runners will go to second and third, and you take the 2 walks, and then that error right there, and that's how they've been giving up a lot of runs this early portion of the season. So Trombley, with runners still in scoring position at second and third. That's going to be strike 2. So Lee up in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. And that'd be a good stop by Plouffe on the ball in the dirt. Now in the game against Springfield, you know she had 21 walks. She did have 10 strikeouts. So she has the capability of being able to manufacture her own run from inside the circle like that right there. And that'll be the game's first out on a strikeout. Now Hope LeBate, second baseman, at the plate for Burr Burton. Bulldogs with the 1-0 lead. They have 1 down, top of the first. Runners at second and third. And Amanda Lee but she turned that over. You see her wrist action on that. That was a good-looking pitch, outside corner. Again, that website for Channel 15 is www.pegtv.com. Go there, you can click on Video on Demand, follow the instructions. You can watch any ball game you want or any event you want, actually, right there on the internet, on your convenience at home, on the computer. Or you can always catch us live. Just go to Channel 15 on the dial. And they'll come inside. So Lee, again, you can see she be inconsistent. She'll throw a couple good-looking pitches and then search again for that strike zone the next 2 or 3 pitches. And she'll hold that too long, and it'll make it a 3-1 count. Burr Burton, obviously, in those green and yellow uniforms. Boy, and Plouffe has got to, the runner trying to come home, and, yep. They got her. Oh, they got her out. Plouffe raced. She elected not to toss the ball to the catcher on the coverage, and she ran home and tagged her out on a very close play. Schwartz moved up to third. That's 2 down now as they got Malone out at the plate. Malone hesitated. That was a strike called. It's a 3-2 count. So, yeah, so kind of on a awkward play, actually. The ball got away from Plouffe. She hesitated to go after it for a split second. The runner hesitated coming down the line, and then everybody kind of got on the same page, and Mill River got the call their way. That will be ball 4 on a close pitch. Now put runners at the corners. That's the 3rd walk of the inning, and now Lindsey Beerworth is going to be the pitcher for Burr Burton coming to the plate. It'll be the first opportunity also if we get to watch and see if Burr Burton wants to have an aggressive running game. Runners at the corners. Perfect time to send first down to second on the steal, and now she'll hold this time at the bag. Coach McDonald with some instructions to his pitcher. Oh, and she got to go up the ladder and chase that rise ball out of the strike zone, and it'll be no balls, 2 strikes. Looking for the 3rd out, trying to get out of this inning with just a 1 run scored. And again, that was below the knee and called a ball. On upcoming Mill River games, I know Otter Valley coming to town next week, and that's strike 3. That's going to be the inning. Bulldogs will pick up just 1 run. They'll strand 2 and lead with 2 strikeouts in that inning. And so Beerworth in the circle looking at Lee. She's going to lead things off here for Mill River. Now she's had a good season at the plate, hitting the ball in the game against Springfield here. She laid down a couple bunts for base hits also, so she's got the speed and can handle the bat. We'll see what she wants to do here against Beerworth. A lot of movement on the pitch, but be outside, and it'll be a ball. We're going to look at Amanda Lee, Caleb Plouffe, Chelsea Redenis, and Taryn Redenis batting in that cleanup spot. 2 balls, no strikes to count. So Beerworth called for an illegal pitch. It was going to be a ball no matter what. She didn't come to a set. Okay. And they'll drop in there in an inside corner. Lee kind of moved back on the pitch, but it bent around the corner, called a strike. Amanda Lee. Last year he played a lot of first base. He'd have her shortstop for a game, and what they stopped play for now, I believe, we got one of the baseballs came over from the, I think it's just practice actually, yeah, one of the Mill River boys baseball practices. One of the balls came over on the field. They'll wave the pitch off and it'll stay at 2 balls, no strikes. So Beerworth looking in, getting the sign, getting the signal, and Lee, they reached way up to get the bunt. Got to Beerworth, throws to first, and they'll get her. So it'll be 1 down. I retire Lee, and now Plouffe, the catcher, coming up for Mill River on that ground out by Lee. Like I said, she did that a couple times against Springfield, had success, but She didn't really directional bunt this time. It just kind of came to the right side, not very far to the right side of the pitcher. And that'll be high for a ball. Beerworth. Not overpowering stuff we've seen, but she's just trying to be accurate, and that'll be ball 2. That defense has Robin Watley at first base for Burr Burton. Hope Labatt is at second. The shortstop is Alicia Trombley, and Grace Schwartz is at third base. That one called a strike. Paige Malone behind the plate made the catch on that strike. Tyler Johnson's in left field. Center fielder is Hannah Faxon. And in right field is Emily Keys, and that's the defense for Burr Burton. And Lee will skip out of the way of that pitch. And it should be the third ball of the count. So a 3-1 count to the leadoff batter for Mill River. Oh, to the number 2 batter, Floof for Mill River. Lee retired on that attempted bunt for a single. Good pitch. And we'll have a full count. So Plouffe was the right fielder last year. She's in the catcher spot this year. Waits the pitch from Beerworth. And got it popped up to center field, backpedaling, and it'll be over the head of the center fielder, and Plouffe at least to second, and she's going to turn the corner and head to third base, and she will beat the throw, and it's going to go out of play, and Plouffe will be allowed to come home with the game's tying run. And we're going to have this thing knotted up at 1-all. So Faxon never really, she backpedaled, but didn't really go back on the ball to retrieve it. And then the ball thrown out of play on the third base side. And now Chelsea Redenis up in a 1-1 game. And it's been a long time this season. And Redenis will be hit and take first base. She got hit on the knee. Now bring up her sister, Taryn Redenis now. They check with Chelsea Redenis down at first base. She says, I'm okay to go, and so Taryn will step in now to the plate. Mill River, against Springfield, they did have, when they did get base runners on, they were very aggressive as far as moving them up on steals and hitting runs. And there goes the runner, there goes the throw down, and she's going to beat the throw down. She'll put herself in scoring position with the 1 out. Malone's throw came in high. So she got hit by a pitch, stole second base, and I like that style of softball right there. So the go-ahead run sitting out at second base. I'll tell you what, that's stretching the strike zone right there, but she got the call as Malone, the catcher, did a nice job of just sliding that back in over the plate. And that's going to be stopped. It was short of the plate, rolled across, and Redenis stayed at second. And Redenis at the plate did not swing at it. A couple of Redenises back to back. And the next batter on deck is Haley Katrupi, to be followed by Casey Dambrakis and Brandy Bennick and Casey Camo coming up, and Jackie Holler. And they're going to flex Phelps today. And a 2-2 count. Cloudy day, comfortable temperature, slight breeze blowing, nothing too severe. And that will be high, and the runner will be able to try to get down to third base, and she's going to beat the throw. So Redenis stealing second, then moving up to third on that wild pitch. And Taryn Redenis having to wait as Coach McDonald talking to Chelsea Redenis. Oh, she went sliding in yet and might have jammed her leg a little bit, but again, she's tough. She's going to stay in there. So full count. Beerworth having a little problem here in the first inning. And we'll come up short as that one was low, and nice scoop by Malone, and that'll put runners at the corners. Yeah, so an error, stolen base, a wild pitch, now a walk. And Katrupi has made good contact with the ball at the plate. And I expect Taryn Rodenis not to spend too much time over at first base before they try to move her up to second. And they're going to throw down to third. Yeah, she'll be safe. They conceded second base. They're trying to catch the runner leaning toward home base. So runners at second and third now. Katrupi, then Dambrakis. So Munger with a chance here to take the lead in the bottom of the first. They gave up that one run and did a good job actually in the top of the first. Remember, the bases were loaded for Burr Burton. And it was only a wild pitch that, or actually it was an error on the catcher. On a pass ball that went into the dugout area, became a dead ball, allowed the run to come in. That's the short, through the whole base hit. Rodenis will score. That's going to be 2-1, and they're going to send Taryn Rodenis home, and she's going to come in without a throw. As they're tossing the ball around the infield, missed the cutoff, and picked up by Beerworth, and Haley Katrupi with a single through the hole at shortstop, driving in 2 runs. Now bring up Dambrakis now, so a good offensive inning for Mill River as they're able to respond to that run by Burr Burton. You can see Dambrakis move off the plate on that inside pitch. And Beerworth into the windup. Well, just both extremes. She was in too far inside last pitch and too far outside this pitch. Have more Green Mountain College softball action coming up for you as they take on Maine Maritime. You can watch that at a later date on Channel 15 on Munger Vision. Some more Proctor High School baseball action, some MSJ baseball action. And that will be a strike. And then finally West Rutland at home for some West Rutland girls softball action. So a full slate of spring sports coming up for you on Munger Vision on PEGTV Channel 15. Good discipline at the plate by Dambrakis. That pitch was one of those borderline pitches, kind of high, but batters tend to climb up the ladder and go after those. Dambrakis did not offer at it. It was a ball. And she will draw the walk. They'll put runners at first and second. That's the second walk of the inning, issued by Beerworth, and now the third baseman, Brandy Bennick, up. And we're going to have a little chat between Malone, the catcher, and Beerworth, the pitcher. And now Bennick's going to go down and talk to Coach McDonald. So a lot of conferences going on this Saturday afternoon game, 11 o'clock start time. And everybody back in position now. So again, we'll just set the stage. There's one out, 3-1 Mill River with the lead in the bottom of the first. And runners at first and second for the Minutemen. They're at the plate. Those red, white, and blue uniforms taking on the Bulldogs from Burr Burton, the green and yellow, and that's going to be ball one. So she's missing high mostly when she's missing. And Mill River's other loss came on the road down in Bennington to MAU. I believe that was a 10-0 score. And will it be playable? Malone, nope, she'll watch it land out of play, and it'll just be a strike on the foul ball. And again, that infield has Watley, Labatt, Trombley, and Schwartz. And Malone behind the plate. And that's going to be another base hit. Johnson will pick it up, and they're going to send Katrupi home, and she's going to make it to play at third. Dambrakis will be in safe. And so Bennick with a good solid single right there will drive in a run. And maybe that'll be the hit that gets her confidence going and keeps her bat alive for Mill River this year. So Bennick with an RBI single. Now Casey Camus up, and she's going to be the DP. I believe she's going to bat for Phelps. Phelps is the flex at first, and Camus at, they fake the throw, and the runner stays at third, so they'll concede second base to Bennick. An uncontested stolen base. Jackie Holler on deck, and that would mean that Mill River would have batted around through the whole order. As they're up 4-1 right now, and that pitch will be outside for a ball. Well, one other thing, they're just being a lot more patient at the plate too. Against Springfield, they were up there just swinging at anything that came in to home base. A lot of stuff was out of the strike zone. Right now they're showing a lot more discipline at the plate this game. That will be outside and obviously a ball. So Bennick at second base and Dan Brackus at third. Camus at the plate, Holler on deck, and Mill River looking for their first win of the season. And they're going to throw down to third and should be back safe. Dan Brackus really didn't have that big a lead off the bag. But Malone fired down. Yeah, you never know. That was a good, accurate throw. Down to Schwartz at third base. Right there at the knee, called a strike. And that wind that was uneventful early on in the ballgame starting to pick up a little bit now here in the bottom of the second. And that's going to become a dead ball, and the run will be allowed to come in. So there'll be no play. That hit the dugout. That's going to send Bennick to third, and they're going to give her home base. Yeah, because, well, she was on the way to third. And he's going to stop her at third. Okay. So Dan Brackus comes in with the fifth run. Bennick will stay at third base. And Camus will be down at first base. And yeah, Holler up now. That means 9 batters have come to the plate in this first inning for Mill River. And there's a strike. Then again, Camus will go down to second and doesn't draw the throw. Top of the order, Amanda Lee taking some warm-up swings out there. She's been the only out recorded here this inning. You know, it'd be interesting to see too at the top of the second. Foul ball with a lead now, which she has not pitched with yet this year. If it will affect her pitching with a little bit of lead. And Holler with a foul ball for a strike right there. Again, a Wade Beerworth and a throw down as Bennick was standing on the bag. I mean, I have no problem with being aggressive behind the plate, but there was no need for a wasted effort like that. That can end up out in left field. Beerworth will be high. And all of a sudden, Beerworth having a lot of issues with her control as she has 3 walks this inning. Holler, long wait between pitches and not even remotely close to the strike zone. They'll be high and outside. Yeah, Holler got to play a little bit in the Springfield game. She, I believe, was past the third inning possibly. She got inserted into the center field spot. Oh, she went out of the strike zone for that pitch. And that was strike 3. I had to wait. Yeah, that was strike 3, so it becomes the second out. Now Amanda Lee, she tried to bunt for a base hit, was thrown out at first base by the pitcher Beerworth. And they'll be high for a ball. And again, runners at second and third, 2 down, 5 runs in. Burr Burton picking up 1 run in the top of the first. So we got a 5-1 game here in the bottom of the first. And I shall wait to the next defensive inning, and that's going to be, I don't think that's going to be playable. No, it's going to drop out of play for just a foul ball strike. I'm having the center fielder Faxon lining right up with the camera to home base. I've never usually had a problem with the center fielder. She's definitely playing the hitters to be able to pull the ball, which I can understand that. There, she's out of the way. Now we get that unobstructed view from pitcher to catcher. Good pitch, a little pop on the ball, and Lee can't catch up to it, and it'll be a swinging strike. So a 1-2 count, 2 down, and Beerworth looking to get out of this long first inning. She's faced 10 batters. And that one is going to allow the run to come home. Yes, so Bennick will come in on a wild pitch with the 6th run of the first inning. for Mill River. And Camo goes down to third base. So that was like a Bull Durham wild pitch. That was so far behind the hitter early in the release point of the pitch. Beerworth. It's going to be past Beerworth, the shortstop. She's got to make the quick throw, and they just did call her out. I had to wait on the call. It was a bang-bang play, and they'll get her out. But 6 runs come in for the Minutemen. We'll go to the top of the second, 6-1, Mill River. So Lee looking at the 7, 8, 9 batters in the Burr Burton order, and this is going to be Tyler Johnson. Johnson, a member of that basketball program down at Burr Burton, went through the year undefeated, winning the Division II state championship. And again, that inconsistency, the first pitch right there, that one bowling across the plate, and can lead with a 6-1 lead. In the second, scheduled for 7. I think Mother Nature's going to cooperate today. And a good pitch right there. A little pop on it too. Ploof. Nice job of framing that for the umpire. And 1-2 count to Johnson, leadoff batter here in the top of the second for the Bulldogs. And she brought a little bit outside, see if she can get her to chase it, and she laid off it, and we'll have a 2-2 count. Bennick remains at third base defensively for Mill River. Dan Brackus is at short. Chelsea Redennis at second, and that's going to be down to first base, and they got a chance still. They got a chance, and safe, yeah. They bobbled it around. Yeah, they were bobbling that around, and Johnson, Johnson, okay, you know, I was watching in the background. I was watching the safe call, and that was the first base coach. So she will be thrown out. So that went 4-3 on the ground out. So Johnson out at first base. Yeah, and that to the backstop for ball 1. But see, Lee's got that pitcher's mentality down. She threw a wild pitch ball right there, and she looked down and blamed the rubber. So she's got that part down pretty good. And now she'll come back with a strike. This is Hannah Faxon, the center fielder. Emily Keys, the right fielder, on deck. That's a good pitch. That's the thing, yeah. She can find a consistency in the mechanics. Yep. It'll be low, and so the base is clear here in the top of the second. And that'll be fouled out of play up the hill on the first base side, and 2 strikes in the count. Lee with 2 strikeouts in that first inning. She got Trombley and Beerworth, and she'll jump rope there and get out of the way and not be struck by the pitch. Lee doesn't take a lot of time between pitches, and that'll become a walk. So she had her with 2 strikes, then lost her and gets the walk down to first base. 3rd walk of the ball game, 4th walk of the ball game, 3 in the first inning for Lee. Keys with Watley on deck. Watley represents the top of the order, and there's a strike called. And Plouffe will set up outside corner, and couldn't catch up to the heater, and that'll be a swinging strike. Again, she'll just catch him fire, and see her turn it over, bring it up to the outside corner, and it'll be a ball. Runner at first base hasn't shown any inclination here to taking second. Again, high and outside, same spot, same results. It'll be a 2-2 count. And Faxon down at first base. That'll miss low, and that'll be a 3-2 count now. Full count to Keys. And she will walk Keys. So she had a chance on the last 2 batters and issued back-to-back walks. Now Watley up. She scored a run back in the first inning. She got on base via the walk. So there is 1 out. They did retire the leadoff batter on a close play at first. There's some discussion strategy-wise from Watley to her head coach, and they seem to have it down now. So as Lee awaits. After a discussion like that, you would imagine small ball, and that's what you see. And they missed the bunt attempt. That's going to be a strike. The runners very cautious out there. They were not off, and it wasn't a suicide bunt. They were off and running. Bennett taking a few extra steps, and now a few extra steps in at third base, real tight. There's a strike there. So 0-2 doesn't necessarily mean they're going to take the bunt off, but 0-2, the tendency is you take the bunt off. Whoa, called on strike three, way outside. That, no offense, that was a wasted at bat. Because once you start with the bunt, you got to stay with the bunt. And at the top of the order, I don't know. And that certainly didn't look like a strike, but that was called a strike way outside. There's a good pitch. Blew it by her for strike one. This is Paige Malone up. She had a single back in the first inning. She's got runners at first and second, but 2 down now. And that is going to be out of play for strike 2. So 3 strikeouts and 5 walks so far for Amanda Lee. And Grace Schwartz is the on-deck batter. 6-1, Minutemen with the lead, top of the second. Poof, getting up out of her crouch, having to grab that one. Runners stay. That's one thing I wanted to see when Burr Burton got runners on in situations like this. They don't seem like they're going to have an aggressive running game. It's going to be down to Bennett, and it'll be foul ball. So Faxon going hard to third, slides in, all for nothing. It's going to be a foul ball, be a strike, and they'll send the runners back. So Malone looking at a 1-2 count with 2 down. Mill River looking to record a scoreless inning defensively. And she will. She'll strike her out to end the inning. The strand 2 stays 6-1 the Minutemen going into the bottom of the second. On the second, the number 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for Mill River. This is Plouffe, the catcher. And then both Rodenas girls. And that'll be called a ball. It was close, but they didn't give her the benefit of the doubt, and it'll be ball 1 from Beerworth. Malone remains behind the plate as the catcher. That's the battery of Beerworth and Malone. That's going to be down to the shortstop. Tried to play it on the backhand side. The ball got through, and then that'll become a base hit for Plouffe. I bet she steals too. I bet she's off at the crack of the bat. Chelsea Rodenas at the plate was hit by a pitch her first time up. Eventually she came around to score. And Plouffe had reached on an error prior to that base hit. There's the throw coming down, and it'll go to center field, but it'll be backed up by Faxon, so runner stays at second. And then Rodenas, see if she'll... And so Plouffe, good speed down at second base. Nobody down. She was leadoff batter. She had a single through the hole at short, under the glove of the shortstop, and it's going to roll. And there goes Plouffe down to third on a wild pitch, and she'll be in standing up this time. So, in a blink of an eye, she's on third base. And a 2-0 count, and Beerworth again trying to find her control here in the second. I believe it's the first time all season Mill River's had a lead in the ball game. And the 3-0 count. You can just tell by Beerworth's body language. She's a little beyond frustrated right now with herself. And that will be ball 4, and I'll put runners at the corners, and Rodenas will be off probably on the first pitch, trying to steal second. See if they'll fake the throw down a second, see if they can get the runner at third. Taryn Rodenas up right now. She walked and scored back in the first inning. And Mill River with 6 runs in the first. Yeah, and they're going to come home on that, and yeah, she's going to be safe at home base. So Plouffe coming in with the 7th run of the ball game. Yeah. And Chelsea Redden is taking second base. And Beerworth, long look in. And yeah, that gives a wild pitch behind the batter, and you can see that Chelsea Redden will slide over to third base. And they're going to have another meeting out there on them in the circle. Discussion between Malone, the catcher, and the pitcher Beerworth, and there's a swinging strike as Taryn Redenis got over the top of that pitch. Chelsea Redenis down at third. The on-deck batter is Haley Katrupi. Katrupi had an RBI single her last time up, her only time up so far. And that's going to be just foul. I'll tell you what, she got around on that one and pulled it down the third baseline foul. Quick hands through the strike zone. So Taryn Redenis now with 2 strikes on her in the count. Just 1 strikeout in the ballgame so far for Beerworth. And that's going to be high to the backstop, play at the plate, and she'll be safe. So Redenis able to beat the throw home on that wild pitch. And obviously a ball. They do a little housework out there and get the home base brushed off, the home plate brushed off. Darren Carter at Proctor always corrects me on that when I call that a base. That's home plate. And that's got a chance. It's going to be through, and a base hit for Redenis. It'll be picked up by Johnson. She'll fire it in a second. Redenis with a solid single at first base. It's 8-1 the Minutemen, and they sent 10 batters to the plate in that first inning. Haley Katrupi up. Like I said, she had 2 RBIs on a single. Back in the first inning. That'll roll to the plate, and yet they are going to throw down, and she will have the ball backed up. Another steal for the Minutemen. Malone almost like hesitated waiting for somebody to cover the bag, but I don't think they would have had her anyways. So Redenis with that good speed sitting in at second. And again, that one will come in too low, bounce into the plate and be a ball. Now it's a lot easier said than done, but at this point you've really got to just, every pitch is its own entity, and she's doing a lot of thinking on each pitch. That's going to be another wild pitch, and Redenis will end up at third base. They did throw down, which could become a very dangerous play as far as the ball getting away, but she will be safe on the throw. It's Trombley down at third base as they made a change for Burr Burton. And I'll try to catch up on that change for you. They've moved around a couple of the players as Leo Wolfman has gone to short. So Wolfman's playing short now. Trombley's playing third. That's a change for Burr Burton. Beerworth, the runners at the corners. And they elected, they gave up second base to Katrupi. As Dambrakis, the shortstop, walked and scored back in the first inning herself. A lot of that walked and scored stuff going around right now for Mill River as Burr Burton pitcher Beerworth starting to pile up a lot of stats like that. 6 runs in the first, 2 so far here in the second, and they're looking for the first out of the inning as Dambrakis. Again, Burr will take a long time between pitches. It'll be outside. And a 3-0 count. The on-deck batter is Bennick, and she had an RBI single her only time up. So Dan Bratkus will watch. That one sail up and outside, and that'll be ball 4. So the base is juiced right now, full of Mill River players. And now have another meeting now with Beerworth, with the head coach. So they stay with Beerworth in the circle, and she'll be high. Base is loaded, nowhere to put her. And like I said, Bennick with a good solid base hit back in the first inning, drove in a run. That's going to be back to the pitcher. She'll get the shore out at first. 1 run will come in, and that's all that will happen. So they'll move the runners up to second and third. Bennick will be retired. Taryn Redenis came in to score. Kachupi goes to third, Dembrakis to second. And now Camus up. Again, after a long wait, the pitch on the way. And that's going to be playable. That's down to third base. And that's a tough throw. Threw it in the dirt, and it'll allow the runner to be safe and the run to come in. Yeah, so at third base, they had a lot more time. Trombley did, and she rushed the throw, and it'll be an error on Trombley. Now Jackie Holler up. Jackie Holler had struck out back in the first. We're in the second. Mill River. Burr Burton, the feature presentation. An inside pitch catches the corner for a strike. So Dan Bratkus at second. And that could be playable. That will be caught over at first base for the second out of the inning. Now bring her on the top of the order, Amanda Lee. And so Lee was grounded out twice, once to the pitcher and once to short. Looking to extend the inning. It's Beerworth. Looks at that inside target, and Lee's going to be robbed of a base hit at second base. That'll end the inning, but again, Mill River able to push across 4 runs for a 10-1 lead going into the third over Burr Burton. So Amanda Lee in the third inning with 4 strikeouts. We'll be looking at Schwartz, Trombley, and Labatt due up. As the umpire getting in position now. And that'll be a swinging strike. Good location on that fastball. Low and outside. As Schwartz walked in the first inning, got stranded at third base. Burr Burton able to pick up just 1 run. That's going to be down to second off for Dennis's foot, and yeah. Actually, that's going to be Camus at second base. So Camus in defensively at second will commit the error. That'll allow the leadoff batter to get on. So it's an E4. And now Trombley up. She was a strikeout victim of Lee's earlier in the ball game. It's going to be a high. There's the throw coming down. Yeah, he had wound up the fist, but called her safe. Yes, I did. He was getting set to call her out. So. And actually, I want to correct myself. That's Wolfman down at second base. She came in to play for Schwartz, so she will be safe on the steal at second. Well, that's the first stolen base of the ball game for Burr Burton. First time they've attempted it. That was great location. She came up and inside and tied her up with the fastball. So Trombley down in the count. Now coming a little bit too far. Actually, if anything, probably a little bit low too. So we'll stay with the 2-2 count. Strike 3 looking, and again, that's been consistent, that high outside corner like that. As that becomes the 5th strikeout for Lee, the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Hope Labatt. She walked back in the first. We're in the third, but we're up by 9, 10-1. And Wolfman dancing around at second, but not taking the base, advancing to base at third. So the defense now has got Phelps at first, Camus at second, Dambrackas at short, Bennick at third, Plouffe still the catcher, Hollers in center, Katrupi in left, and in right field is Taryn Redenis. So possibly Chelsea Redenis there, she had that slide in the third base where she had, well, I don't want to say injured, but she had a problem with her leg. Maybe it's a little more serious than we thought, as Camus has gone and take her spot defensively here in the third. And a good stop by Plouffe on a ball that skipped across the plate. Runners unable to move up on that. And a 3-1 count. Beerworth, the pitcher, due up next behind Labatt. That's going to roll to the backstop, and Wolfman will end up at third base. Again, Lee has thrown some good pitches today, but then she'll just kind of, for lack of a better word, just kind of lose the strike zone. She'll lose her whole mechanics and throw some horrific pitches, and she's got to find that consistency. Beerworth all set now. Runners at the corner. See if Burr Burton will send that runner on a steal from first. There she goes. The throw coming down, and Dambrackas got. Oh, they will release the runner late, and she will score. And there's that old second base to third base on a steal. Dambrackas made a nice catch, tried to reach back and make the tag, and Wolfman scores the second run of the ball game for Burr Burton. 10-2 now in the third, scheduled for 7. Mercy rule works like this. Team that's trailing by 15 runs or more has to have full, wow, that's called a strike, has to have 5 full at bats. Oh, okay. Yeah, she left the bat laying out there on that bunt. That'll be too far outside, and that'll become a ball. So Lee will bust it up and inside. See, that's a good pitch. Good location, good pop, and that becomes her 6th strikeout. So she's staying consistent like that. She's got 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. 6 for the ball game. Tyler Johnson up. She grounded out to Redenis, who was playing second base at the time. That's going to be a strike there. Now see, she's thrown back to back. Nice pitches. Now she can just find that same mechanics. Came down inside and leaving the count out at 1-1. So Burr Burton with 1 run here so far in this third inning of play, and the runner down at second base is Hope Labatt. And see Lee looking in, because a lot of times today that has been called a strike, that pitch. That right there will not get the benefit of the doubt. It'll be a ball. It's going to be fouled off down the first baseline out of play for a strike. So a 2-2 count in a 10-2 game. Minutemen looking to end the second inning. That's playable. Phelps, nope, she going to be a foul ball. Yeah, she never really ran behind the ball to get a good spot on it defensively, so that will fall harmlessly to the ground, and it'll just become a strike. See if Johnson can take advantage of that now. That's going to be a wild pitch, and allow the runner to go down to third base, and I'm waiting to see. A lot of discussion going on with the umpire right now. Oh, okay, he's looking for a bit softball. All right. So he's got an extra ball, got a runner at third, and we're set to go. And a good stop by Plouffe. And that'll become ball 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 walks in the ball game, 6 strikeouts. And that pitch called a strike. Hannah Faxon, she walked, got stranded at second base in the second inning. And she decided late to take a swing and 1-1 the count. And there's that expanded strike zone. 7 strikeouts, 7 walks, and a 10-2 lead for Mill River. Kayla Plouffe, the catcher, starting things off here for the Minutemen in the 3rd inning. They have a 10-2 lead over Burr Burton. Beerworth. That's going to be a base hit. Yeah. They'll quickly get the ball on the plate, but again, Plouffe jumped on that first pitch. Keys got that ball in real quick. Or I'm sorry, that's Johnson right there. Johnson got the ball in real quick. So Plouffe with 3 hits today. Unofficially a triple and 2 singles. And the runner will go down to second base. Yep. It's again tough pitch to handle by the catcher. Hard to get a throw off. It's Faxon, the center fielder. You can see her playing very shallow in center field. As Chelsea Redenis is due up, and she is at the plate. Remember, she didn't go out defensively to play the last inning. That's playable. Wolfman says she's got it, and she does. That's the first out on a pop-up to the shortstop to record the first out. And the runner cannot advance on that. So now Taryn Redenis up. She's been on base twice today. She has walked and she's had a base hit. And she'll jump back out of the way of that inside pitch. As Beerworth has had long innings of work. In the first inning alone, she faced 10 Mill River batters. That's right there for a strike. So again, that adjusted infield is Trombley at short, Trombley at third, Wolfman at short. Labatt at second, Watley at first. That's going to be well high and outside, and be a 2-1 count, I believe. Catcher remains Malone. The outfield has Johnson, Faxon, and Keys. Out there for Burr Burton. And she went with the pitch. It goes down to first. Runner will go to third, and they'll have the unassisted putout down at third base. So 2 down, and Burr Burton looking for a much shorter inning of work here. Katrupi up. She's singled. She's got 2 RBIs. She's walked, and she's also scored 2 runs. So she's been very, very good today. And again, too far inside for a strike to be called, and Katrupi laid off it. Katrupi in his early season has swung the bat very well for Mill River. And that will just tickle the outside corner and even things up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Temperatures in the mid-40s today at the start of the ball game. Of course, you know that by going to the Channel 15 weather map, and they'll give you all the local weather. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to score a run, and Katrupi's going to have a chance to go to second. No, she's going to hold it up, so she'll drive in the run. As Plouffe will come in to score. Katrupi with another RBI, making her day been productive, and she's been very good at the plate, very aggressive at the plate. As Dan Brackus up to shortstop. And that's going to be past the shortstop for a base hit, and they're going to hold Katrupi up at third base. You can see in the background, well, they're going to throw it around, and that could become a dead ball. Nope, the catcher will save that from becoming a run score, unless allowing a run to come in. So a single for Dan Brackus. Then the error allowed her to move up, and now Bennick up, who's 1 for 2 today with an RBI. So Bennick Looking at strike one, outside corner. An 11-2 ball game right now. Mill River, like I said, looking for their first win of the year. And that time she'll obviously lay off that pitch for a ball. Beerworth fires and got her. Strike two on the swing. So 2 down, runners second and third, 1 run in. The Minutemen and the Bulldogs on a feature presentation on PEGTV Channel 15 Sports. Get the Loyalty Day break coming up May 3rd, 2 o'clock downtown Rutland. Hope you can make it. And that's going to be foul. So Beerworth looking to have a much shorter inning of work here. Wants to get the out right now and end it. No, she'll come in high and float it in. Dan Brackus and Chupi on base for Mill River. Again, Bennick with contact and fouls it out of play over on the bank here that overlooks the field. And she'll stay alive with those 2 strikes. Did a good job to be defensive at the plate. And like I said, some more Green Mountain College softball action, West Rutland softball action, MSA baseball and Proctor baseball, plus of course more Mill River softball. And she went with it, and it's going to be a base hit, number 2 for Bennick. And here comes Dan Brackus, and she's going to be safe. So Bennick will drive in a couple more runs. That makes her 3 RBIs on the morning's work here. So she's had a couple singles, 3 RBIs, and now Camo up, or Camus. Runner stayed at first on that pitch. I was surprised by that. So 13-2 now the score. Mercy rule, you have to be up by 15 runs after 5 innings of play. Now she's going to run. There's the throw down, and she's going to be safe. Bennick with good speed anyway. He's got down there and beat the throw. So like I said, 3 RBIs, a couple base hits, a stolen base. Maybe this will be a real confidence booster for her. I'll tell you what, she went up and got that, and Johnson will have it go off her glove. Bennick's going to score. Trying to pick up the trail runner, yeah. And Camus will hold up at second base. And now Jackie Holler up 0 for 2 today, struck out and flied out. Holler getting the start in center field. Again, what was kind of cruising along, going to be an efficient big rip at that. Big swing on that one. Yeah, what the inning started off with Plouffe getting a single, and then the pitcher Beerworth retired the next 2 batters, and things were looking pretty good, and then all of a sudden she's facing her 8th batter of the inning. That's going to be the backstop, and Camus will be down at third base now. On that wild pitch. Top of the order, sitting on deck, and Amanda Lee. Good stop behind the plate by Malone. You got that runner down at third base. You got to tighten things up between pitcher catcher and keep the ball in play. So Beerworth again trying to find that third out. Will come in high. She really does want to come back around to the top of the order right now. So a 3-1 count. Foul tip caught, full count now. Nice job by Malone. Or sorry, 2-2 count, I believe they're saying. And that's going to be down to first, and foul. I had to wait till it was official, and now it's official, and it's a foul ball. So Jackie Holler went with the pitch, and it's going to be dropped out in the outfield. The run will score, and again, some misplayed balls have really hurt Beerworth in this ball game. There's been a couple third outs dropped this inning. Top of the order, Mandoline. This is the 9th batter to come to the plate this inning for Mill River, as they've blew the game wide open here, and that's going to go all the way to the backstop. The runner will obviously go to second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15-2 now is the score. Mill River trailing 1-0 after a half inning of play, and they've more than made up for it now. So 15-2, and Lee trying to add to that lead. Again, we'll take that one just a tad bit high for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Plouffe, who started this whole inning off, is the on-deck batter for the Minutemen. That will be a ball. So 3 balls, no strikes, 2 down, 1 on, 5 runs in, 15-2 the score. Mill River with the lead and at the plate, and Beerworth will walk her, as that one wasn't remotely close to the strike zone. Well, I've done a lot of games this year already in spring sports between baseball and softball where there's just been immensely long innings and immense amounts of walks. I did that 34-3 West Rutland Proctor baseball game, and in the second inning of that game, Proctor sent 29 men to the plate. I have never covered a game in all my years where that many, 29 people came to the plate. And I think we're having a pinch hitter. Okay, so Stephanie Collins is at the plate, number 15 for Mill River, batting in Plouffe's spot. So Collins, with her first at-bat of the ball game, will take ball 1. Mill River looking for their first win. And it will be a feel-good win, too. I mean, Lee with 7 walks, 7 strikeouts. The team only giving up 2 runs. Everybody going to get a chance to hit the balls, making contact. That'll be another ball. First and second. 2 down. 2 balls, no strikes to Collins. You know, a lot of it too, Plouffe had her catcher gear on. Now, I'm not saying that's why they pinch hit for her, but and again, it's just an overcast day. There is some occasional gusting wind. Temperatures in the mid-40s, and that'll even it up now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. So not a bad spring day for softball. I mean, it is Vermont. You can't expect 70-degree days and stuff. That's got a chance, that's got a chance, and it'll be dropped. So 1 run, 2 runs coming in. They're going to throw to the pitcher, and that'll allow, again, they've had the third out on 3 different occasions this inning alone and cannot come up with the ball. And I am just wait. Oh, they have an injury in center field. So Faxon has to leave the game, the center fielder. She seemed to have injured her wrist or hand in some nature. Tricia Hart, number 8, Hart now, the center fielder for Burr Burton, and Chelsea Redenis at the plate for Mill River. She was hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning, walked and scored in the third. That was in the second, I'm sorry, and then flied out the third, and that's going to allow another run to come in. Yes. So Collins will go to second as Amanda Lee scores. 17-2 now, Mill River. Now that is 15 runs, but the team that is behind by 15 or more has to have 5 full at bats. So, and Beerworth, now I'm not sure if she's their only pitcher, but she has not pitched as bad as the score would indicate. She's had some borderline calls not go her way pitching, but her team's made too many errors or miscues. Or Collins waited, and going to be safe, and that's a lucky play right there because she hesitated, and the throw bounced down to third, and that allowed her to be safe. So Redenis, senior on the squad, will stay in there and draw the walk. So Chelsea Redenis will go to first base. Now Taryn Redenis at the plate. She's walked, singled, and popped out, or grounded out to the first baseman. So in a 17-2 game, where Redenis with a good swing at that pitch. Like I said, she got fast hands through the strike zone. And Beerworth has been very deliberate between pitches. It's not been a matter of the big lead against her. That's on the infield, and that's going to be taken at the shortstop position, and that will be the inning. Yeah, that is the inning. 17-2 Mill River with the lead. Well, Lee's got the big lead now, 17-2. It's up to her just to totally concentrate on pitching. She's looking at number 9 batter, Keys. There's a strike, 1-1 to count. So yeah, she 7 strikeouts, 7 walks, allowed 2 runs, and gets a swinging strike there. So yeah, she nothing else to worry about this ball game right now in the top of the 4th, except just go out there and throw strikes. And it's mechanical, really. I mean, I'm watching her pitch. She ended up right there, falling out toward the third base side. It's going to be fisted foul. Like I said, I'll have more Mill River softball action for you, and I believe the next upcoming game I have is against the Otter Valley squad, Patty Camden's Otter Valley Otters. And she will hold up. I don't think they're going to peel that. But she certainly didn't go around for the swing. Pitch was low. Got the plate, but was low. And then Lee will skip that one in for the walk. So she'll lose her and allow the leadoff batter of the 4th inning to go down to first base. Now Watley up. She has walked and struck out. Watley represents the top of the order. That one right there. Right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Redenis, Holler, and Katrupi remain in the outfield for Mill River. Bennick, and Deambrakis, Camus, and Phelps on the infield. Just wanted to dust off the plate. Plouffe remains the catcher. Lee's in the circle. 17-2 Mill River with a lead over Burr Burton. Good job by Plouffe extending herself to go up and get that ball. There's the windup, and that'll be a ball. Now see what I mean? Lee can throw 2 or 3 pitches very decently. Real good pop and location. And it's, you know what it is? It's all about consistency. And that'll be called a strike. 2-2 count. Nobody down here in the 4th. Off the end of the bat. Just missed the on-deck hitter who was warming up. So Watley with 2 strikes will watch ball 3 just miss inside. Lee to the windup and fouled off a good pitch. I'm not sure what happened. On a foul ball, he's allowing her catcher's interference. Okay. Catcher's interference. Gotcha. And I figured that out myself. I'm so proud of that. So Paige Malone up now, and she has struck out and singled. She is the catcher for Burr Burton. She squares, shows small ball. They charge. Slap play. Boy, she wound up too and swung. Yeah, she showed bunt, got the first and third baseman to commit, and then she took the slap swing at it. God, I think that's the first slap play I've seen all day today from either side. That's going to be out of play. Yes, way out of play for a strike. So 0-2 to Malone for the Burton Bulldogs. Again, you go to www.pegtv.com, click video on demand, follow the instructions, watch PEGTV programming right there on the computer, on the internet, anywhere in the world. And I'll tell you, Lee tried to elevate that outside corner and missed it by just a tad. That'll be a ball. Little change up, goes down to Dambracus. She'll charge, fire, and got her. Dambracus coming in hard on the ball. We'll get the 6-3 ground out. Runners will move up to second and third. Now Wolfman up. Oh, actually it looks like Hart will bat. Now Hart came in to play center field, but she's going to bat right now. That'll be a ball. I'm not sure why they have her batting here, but she is. That'll be off the plate for ball 2. So Lee trying to work herself out of a second and third jam right now. So again, she's looking for that control. Bennick even with the bag at third. That'll be to the backstop. Plouffe will chase it down. The runner stay in place, and good hustle by Caleb Plouffe, and that'll load him up on the walk. So Lee's worked herself into a jam now, as that is her 9th walk of the ball game. And Alicia Trombley up, struck out twice. Well, double play is in order. Infield in to cut down the run, and that's going to be to the backstop. And no, the runners will not attempt to come home. Now, I don't know if they were told not to advance up on that or they just weren't prepared, but Plouffe again hustling after that wild pitch. Doing a good job. Oh, nice job. Nice pitch. Outside corner. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. Strike 2, same location, same call. So Lee looking for her 8th strikeout of the ball game. Will get it. On the swing, she will cut her down. And that's at least 1 strikeout each inning for Lee. And I'll bring up Hope Labatt now. And there's a strike. Now see, all of a sudden she's found that groove again where she can throw strikes. Bases loaded for Burr Burton in the 4th. Strike 2. Might have been a generous one, but she still got it. So Lee looking to pull even with the walks and strikeouts. Nope, fall back. Good 2-strike swing by Labatt to protect the plate and stay alive. Now Lee with 9 walks, 8 strikeouts. Oh, it just missed. See, to me that's more of a pitcher's pitch right there. That's, she didn't get the call, so it'll be a ball. She'll come back high. I tell you what, she works at a wicked pace between pitches. You talk about catching fire. She is catching and firing. That's in play. That's down to Camus. She will get up, and that's the inning. They'll strand the bases loaded. It'll stay 17-2 Mill River. In the bottom of the fourth, leadoff batter will be Haley Kachupi. She has driven in 3 runs, scored 3 runs, and has singled twice today. So great day at the plate for Kachupi. Beerworth in the circle for Burr Burton. It'll be a ball. Johnson, Hart, and Keys the outfield for the Bulldogs. Trombley, Wolfman, Labatt, and Watley on the infield with the catcher, Malone, behind the plate. Beerworth still the pitcher, and Mill River up 17-2 in the bottom of the fourth. A lot of chatter coming on that Mill River dugout. What a difference being ahead in the score makes. This will be their first win of the season if they can hold on here. And it also could be a mercy rule shortened game. This Beerworth missing there, in danger of walking the leadoff batter, Kachupi. Dambrakis on deck. And that will be ball 4, and Kachupi will go down to first base. Yeah, in the summer for baseball, I plan on doing a Legion Post 31 baseball again. As Dambrakis had a base hit today. And that'll be a foul ball off the ground and off Dambrakis. Yeah, she's walked twice, had a single. She scored a couple runs, and as you go through that whole order for Mill River, there's a lot of production today, good production out of them. And Dambrakis jumping back, but the pitch called a strike as it dicked the inside corner. And then something else I have in the works this year is with Darren Carter, covering a couple of the Proctor Little League games this year, each week. Not just the tournament. That's going to be the force out. Safe. Yeah, she was off the bag, and Kachupi avoided the tag. That's a force out. All she did was have her foot on the bag. She did not need to tag her. And so Kachupi will be safe. Dambrakis will reach on the fielder's choice, and Brandy Bennick up. She's had a good day today. She's had a couple singles, scored a couple runs, driven in a couple runs. So the senior third baseman awaits Beerworth's offering here, and that'll be in for a ball. And again, that website for PEGTV is www.pegtv.com. You can do a lot of things on it, but if you click video on demand, you can watch PEGTV programming anywhere in the world. And then the Loyalty Day Parade coming up May 3rd. That'll be hosted by Sam Caruso. I'm going to run the camera for him. And I want everybody downtown Rutland starts at 2 o'clock. That's going to be out of play, foul ball out of play. Great parade. Gonna, you have your traditional stuff there, your Shriners and your fire departments and your unicyclists. But this year it's all about the troops, the soldiers, the servicemen and women. And that's got a chance to be a gapper. That's gone. Bennick with at least a double, and they're going to send her. No, she's going to hold up. So Bennick finding that stroke today will drive in 2 more runs. And yeah. This is the kind of game Bennick needed to get her confidence back and be a big part of that Mill River offense. So she will drive in 2 more runs. End up at second base, make it 19-2, and now Camo up. I think Phelps is going to bat. So Phelps will bat in her place. She had been the flex player. And see, Bennick did a good job with that outside pitch, taking it to the opposite field for a double. So Mill River, after 3 very sound defeats on the winning end of a lopsided score today, up 19-2. That'll be high and out of play. Your real gauge for improvement, though, is when you play like the Otter Valley's game coming up against a very deep, very experienced, very good program. Here's a strike call that taking all the way was Phelps. And Jackie Holler is the on-deck batter. Well, she's due up next. Yeah, I can see her on the on-deck circle. So, yeah, she will be the next batter to come to the plate. That's going to be down to second. They got a chance. Yep, 4-3, ground out, got it. Bennick will go to third base on the play. So that is the first out of the inning. And Holler today has scored a run. She's looked solid out there in center field. She hasn't had a lot of chances out in center field. That pitch, a ball. And it's going to be down to the shortstop, and that's going to be an error, and she's going to make the throw anyways. That's dangerous because that could end up behind the first baseman. Bennick comes in to score the 20th run. And top of the order, Amanda Lee up. As we look right through the center fielder. Lee. Again, another error. And boy, if it hasn't been the walks, it's been the errors that's really gotten Burr Burton down here. Mill River's made good contact, but these last two balls that were hit were playable. Now Plouffe will come up. I'm going to play with the camera trying to get it past the center fielder here. Oh, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to be a base hit, and yeah, they'll throw it to third behind the runner. So the base is full of Minutemen out there. Again, Plouffe has had a monster day at the plate. So Rodenas, as I get the camera resituated here, trying to shoot past. Boy, the two center fielders have been right in every shot. Oh, Rodenas ripped it foul. Ripped it just foul. But no, I usually don't have any problems with the center fielder getting in my shot. It's been the umpire usually. But today, both center fielders for Burton have been in every shot between pitcher catcher. It happens. That's going to be right there. Is one out. And she ate it. Yep. Line drive. Nice catch. Made the out. That's the shortstop. Number 11, Wolfman. Now Taryn Rodenas up. Again, Rodenas, like all the other Mill River players, has enjoyed a very good, productive day at the plate. And boy, she liked that pitch. Followed it straight back. You know those horizontal strikes like that, those horizontal fall balls, means you were right on it, right on the pitch. So Dennis glancing down to the third base coach, the head coach, Gary McDonald. Getting set and waits to pitch from Beerworth. Beerworth came inside. Bases still loaded. 3 runs in, 20-2 the score. Mill River with the lead. Pretty safe to say they're going to get their first win of the year. Oh, and that's going to drop in. Yeah, they had the infield drawn way in. And Holler will score. They had everybody in on the infield. And that ball just pooched up and over the top. Yeah, and see, it doesn't matter where I move, the center fielder moves with me. And I've never had a game, well, I've had a couple games like that. But no offense to them, they're the game stuff, but it does get frustrating having to keep moving the camera left to right. To the right again, until she does. That's coming to her. And that is going to roll to me. That's going to be picked up. That was a hit a ton. And Katrupi's going to have a triple. Katrupi has cleared the bases with a triple. Okay, I had to move all my gear back over here. So Katrupi with just a monster game. Oh my goodness. I'm going to miss that. It hit the wall. And who is this? Dambrakis? What? A hit by Dambrakis, and I apologize for missing. She's going to score. Yeah, it's dead ball. She'll come in. She'll have a triple, and in the air, she'll come in. I gotta be honest with you. I was looking at my book. I didn't pay attention to it. That was a monster shot. So Dambrakis doing damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 26 to 2. Mill River. And now Bennick back up. And well, if anything, must have been high. So we've seen some big hits today. That last one by Dambrakis, I'm really apologizing for that. My head was down. I was picking up my book and stuff. That's got a chance to do some damage. Yeah, it'll go over Keys' head. Bennick looking, and yeah. Well, right there. And if you're not looking to criticize, you got to be looking at the third base coach, not watching the ball on that side of the field. Now Camus up, and they're going to have a meeting with the pitcher, Beerworth, for Burr Burton. So the meeting was short, and Beerworth were staying in there, and that's going to be a strike, and Bennick's going to hustle down to third. Yeah, Bennick will be at third base. Oh, now see, the center fielder's moved with me. Get out of my way, kid. There you go. As Phelps is up. Oh, that's coming right at you. That's going to be an RBI, and Phelps right on top of that pitch. Tell you what, that's a great shot by me. I didn't have to move around. It's Jackie Holler up now. And I'll tell you what, Beerworth has, she will get better. I mean, she really hasn't been horrible at all today. There have been a lot of mistakes made behind her defensively. And she's made, she has walked people. But for a majority of the part, this ball game, she has been around the plate. Because they're making contact off her, so she's been around the plate. Well, of course, that you set them up by Phelps. He's got a late start. Will go down to second. So Holler, that 1-1 count. In a blowout, 26 to 2 Mill River. That'll be a strike. So yeah, I mean, there's really no doubt in my mind it's going to be a shortened game, mercy rule game. Means Mill River comes up defensively. They'll get the 3 outs in the 5th, and that'll be the ball game. She'll put it down to third, scooped up the long throw, and they didn't get her. They'll drop the ball over at first. It was a low throw, hard to handle, and Holler hustling it down the line will be safe. And now Lee up yet again here this inning. And I'm not moving anymore. We'll have to look through the center fielder. She'll swing and miss for the strike. So Lee going to record her first win as a varsity pitcher in a regular season today. We'll watch that one float in high for a ball. So Amanda Lee, like I said, played mostly first base last year. There was a game where she was at shortstop, did very well at short. And that's going to be another base hit. Yeah, that's going to get a couple more runs, and Lee running hard. See, she's looking for the third base coach, picking her up, and he's going to send her home on a home run trot, and she will score, so she will get the win pitching, and she will hit a home run. And that's the top of your order. That's good power at the top of the order. So she'll drive in, well, the two runners ahead of her, plus herself. And I tell you, I got to recount here. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27. Oh, I got to recount again. Poof is up. It's a lot right now. I can tell you it's Mill River a lot. And that will be a ball on the pitch that was high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have it as a 30-2 game. Now I'll go with that. Well, that's going to be another base hit. That's going to roll to the fence, and Plouffe might run until she scores. She's going to at least take third base, and he's going to send her home as they had some trouble getting the ball under control in the outfield, and Plouffe will round the bases. And Chelsea Redenis due up. And this has been by far the longest inning of play for Beerworth. But again, she's round the plate because they're making contact. I don't have a pitch count, and I couldn't even imagine what it is, but she's thrown a lot of pitches today. So Mill River, I don't ever remember them in many of the games I've ever covered has this many runs. And that'll be a ball high. So the Bulldogs, if they do get up here again, they'll be 3 outs away. It'll be a mercy rule game. And that's going to be a base hit. But I tell you, all of a sudden, you know, it's one thing to have balls in a strike zone, because I've done games from over this year where the ball's been in a strike zone and they haven't made contact. No, today they are making contact. Now Taryn Redenis up. And that will be a ball. And so the crowd that braved the chilly weather today for Mill River, like I said, this is a breakout win, but it's also a hard one to gauge the improvement. Will this carry over into the next game? That's really obviously Burr Burton's got talent and they're young and they've got a lot of work to do to kind of gel as a team. Not to take anything away from them, but as far as the score, I really can't tell you if this is the real Mill River team or just today was the day that this happened because of the competition. Foul ball as Taryn Redenis, those quick hands again, pulls it foul. As they wait and have to retrieve some of the balls that have been fouled all over the place. I've honestly lost track of the score. I think it's like 30-2 right now. There, and they've retrieved some of the foul balls. And no, I'm not moving anymore. Like I said, the center fielder and I've danced all over the place, and she just, wherever I go, she goes. And that'll be a ball. And so again, that third out seems like it's never going to happen for Burr Burton. And that is going to be it. We'll go to the 5th inning mercifully, and I think it's 30-2 Mill River. Okay, I counted the book up, and I have it at 31-2 Mill River. Beerworth should be leading things off the pitcher. We're in the top of the 5th. This will be the ball game. As that mercy rule definitely in effect right now. And on the mound, or in the circle, Amanda Lee. I think by far her best performance of the season. She still had, you know, to this point, 9 walks, but that's better than 21. But, you know, and I'm not making an excuse for it, but like in this particular inning, you just see how ugly that last pitch was. She has not pitched in, what, a half hour. So, I mean, that last inning took at least a half hour, if not longer. So, I mean, she hasn't been loosening up or anything. She's just been sitting on the bench, and that'll be a walk, and that'll send Beerworth down to first with the 10th walk of the ball game. Now, usually if you walk 10 batters, you don't win the ball game. This is just an exception. This is one of those games with an asterisk next to it. There's Johnson up right now. And that'll be a ball. Makes it a 1-1 count. Now, I can see Phelps at first base defensively. Chelsea Redenis has gone back into second. Dan Brackus is at short. Good stop by Plouffe behind the plate. Bennick is at third base. The outfield has Taryn Redenis, Jackie Holler, and Haley Katrupi in it. Good pitch right there. See, that was a good pitch. Outside corner with velocity, and the batter couldn't reach it and couldn't catch up to it, and that's a strike. Yeah, she took a little. That definitely wasn't a changeup. She took something off the ball as far as the pace goes, but it'll miss. And that's going to be. There's one. Oh, nice play by Redenis, flipping it to Dan Brackus, who'd covered the bag, and they'll cut down the lead runner. So Beerworth will go to the dugout, and Johnson will reach on a fielder's choice. And now, waiting to see who's coming up, because this is Faxon's spot in your order, and she had to leave the game with an injury, and they took her replacement Hart and plugged her in further in the lineup. So I guess to answer your question, I have no idea who's at the plate. And she hasn't stepped out of the box between pitches. Very unusual. There's a strike called. So there is 1 out, 1 on, 31-2 Mill River. And oh, there's that far-reaching strike zone right there for strike 2. And she'll hold up on that pitch. Oh, my low battery flash just came on. Come on, Amanda, get them out quicker so I'll change batteries. No, she tried to steal it. The strike there, Plouffe did, and I think that was ball 4. Okay, that's what I was waiting to see. Yeah, that's ball 4, so that will move the runner up to second base, Johnson, and at first, whoever that was, now Keys up. And again, boy, I tell you, that inside corner, not getting the call today. It'll be ball 1. That'll be ball 2. Now see, she's falling right out of the groove again. Inconsistent. I mean, her father I don't think would disagree with me. I don't think Amanda would agree with me, but that is just totally inconsistent. The runners will move up to second and third on the wild pitch. She's going to make me go get the other battery. But yeah, I mean, you got to get consistent to be a winning pitcher. And that'll walk them full, or actually that will walk the bases to load them. She did not walk them full. Coach McDonald's going to have a chat with her. Okay, I didn't change batteries yet. I just went and got it out of the case. Just in case. It's Watley up now. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Coach McDonald's already got out and visited with her. 2 balls, no strikes. So again, I mean, that's going to be a base hit. They're fortunate that it's the competition today is inexperienced, and that's going to be a base hit, and that's going to drive in a run. It's mental and it's mechanics as far as the inconsistency goes. That's a solid base hit for Watley. She'll get an RBI. And now Malone up. And that's going to be On the run. No, good effort. Redenis can't come up with it. They're going to throw it to second, and that's going to end up in the outfield, and nope, they'll back it up. So a good effort by Taryn Redenis. There's a couple more runs came in. 3 runs this inning, and I have it unofficially at 31-5. That's a ball. Still only the 1 out, and I have 31-4, excuse me. I think I gave him credit for 1 more run, yeah, than he actually had come in. My apologies. There's Wolfman up there, and that's going to be to the backstop, and that's going to walk in a run. So Lee struggling here in the 5th inning. And now Trombley due up. Again, just the 1 out. Alicia Trombley played 3rd base today. Big swing and a miss for a strike. So now it's 31-5. Strike 2. So she's thrown 2 good pitches. And again, I don't, it's mental and it's mechanics. That's going to be past the shortstop. That's going to go into the outfield. Another run will come in. All of a sudden, Burr Burton, of course, those walks help set the stage for this. And Labatt up now. Swing and a miss. I'm definitely going to have to put the other battery in. After Labatt, I'll pop in a new battery. It's just an observation. I think she doesn't take enough time between pitches. Lee doesn't. There's a swing and a miss on a sinker ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. 1 out. And took a little juice off the ball, and it floated in high, and base is still loaded full of Burr Burton players. And she will record the strikeout for the 2nd out. So that is her 9th strikeout. And back up to Beerworth, who started this inning off. So Beerworth, bases loaded, 2 down. We'll lay off that pitch for ball 1. Like I said, in contrast, Mill River showed a lot of patience at the plate today with Beerworth. Of course, there's also a different perception. She's about to walk in a run. That, if this was Otter Valley and their pitcher, you wouldn't be able to sit on the count like that. You'd be down in the count so quick. There was really not a lot of threat of being put down in the count early by Beerworth, who'll swing with 3 balls, and now 3 balls, 1 strike. So in a long 5th inning of work here by Lee, that's going to be foul ball. She'll run it to a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down. And a bunch of runs in. So Mill River is trying to get that win. And it won't happen right there. She'll walk in the run. Strange into the ball game. You missed it because my battery died. I had to switch them. The bases were loaded. The batter at the plate grounded the ball back to the pitcher. The pitcher looked at home and ended up going to first base. The batter never ran, and that was the ball game. So Mill River will get their first win of the season. Lee will get the victory. Complete 5 games shortened because of the mercy rule. And, we'll see what their next effort turns out. But for right now, things are good at Mill River, as Mill River with the win, big time over Burr Burton.